Start video.
There you are. I'll let you two chat for a while.
Oh, wonderful. Hello, Cal.
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Yeah, a lot better now. You know, no, it's good to finally meet you.
Where are you? Is it Joseph or it is Joseph? Joe was Joseph.
Yep. That's cool. Yeah, I'm Manchester in the UK.
Are you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow, cool. That's very cool. Yeah. So I'll call you man then. forget Joe or Joseph. I'll call you Jimmy.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, I'll call you Bill Williams. I'm kidding. Okay. So Manchester, that's great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have relatives that live there. I lived in Wigan actually.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And he still does. They still do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, enough about you. So I mean, enough about me. So what's up?
Yeah, you know, X-Men was one of those cartoons as I was growing up. It was one of my favourite shows.
Yeah.
And kind of similar to yourself, I wasn't familiar with the comic books until I watched the show. And absolutely loved it.
Yeah. It was just the best 5 years of my life, I'll tell you that. And I wasn't, when we auditioned for this, Joe, none of us knew who they were. This is back in 92, 91, 92. It started in 92. So yeah, it would be early 92 when we auditioned and, went through the whole process. And none of us, when we went in to read for this, it was called Project X that we were auditioning for. Project X. Gee, you couldn't come up with it. Well, I wonder what that could be. Anyway, we didn't know who the X-Men were. None of us. None of the guys that ended up doing the roles or the girls. Mm-hmm. Like Beast said that he had read a couple of comic books or something, but I think he was lying. It's just like a Beast to do that. And he would say, "Oh no, Wolverine, I've read the comic books before." No, you haven't, Bob. Anyway, so when we went in, they just showed me a picture of him, and I went, "Yikes! This is pretty." He's 5'3" and built like a Sherman tank. And I said, "Wow!" And they gave me the line to read. And I grew up in a small town. I was actually born in Ireland, but I came here when I was very young and lived in a small fisherman's town. It was a tough town. Mm-hmm. I'd heard. Excuse me. I'd heard guys talk like Wolverine talked all the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just the way the town was. Not unlike Manchester or any of the, but or the bad soccer boys or something. It's the same thing. And they gave me the first line, and I loved it because I always made sure that no one was, if anyone was being picked on or anything like that, I was sort of like step right in and go like, and so the first line that they gave me to read, and I looked at the picture and they told me, think what voice, Clint Eastwood or, and I said, what? And Steve, I'll get the name, Steve McQueen, who's very quiet and he's a shorter actor, but a really quiet, introverted actor. And I really liked that reference. Mm-hmm. And I looked at the line and I said, it said, "So you like pushing people smaller than you? Well, I'm smaller than you. Try picking on me." And they just went, they're all the people in the booth just kind of went, "Yikes, give him more lines, hand him some more paper."
Yeah.
And so, I did, it was just fantastic. And then of course they handed me the, which I loved. "I know what you're thinking, punk. Question is, can I get Wolverine before he turns me into shish kebab with those claws? Well, bub, see it as how these claws are adamantium, the strongest metal known, and can slice through vanadium steel like a hot knife through butter, buddy. You gotta ask yourself, do I feel lucky?" And I just loved that part. They just went, "Thank you." And they phoned me the next day and I was, bingo, I'm Wolverine. And I said, whatever that means. Yeah. And I have to tell you, it was 5 years of just unbelievable fun.
And to be honest, as a child, it was absolute joy to watch. I can't really express just how much it means. I think my favourite Wolverine line and it's not actually one of the common ones. It's the one where you're fighting on the Sinister Island. It's where you're fighting one of Sinister's like nasty boys, and you go, "You don't kick a man when he's down, hairbag." And then he goes into, who told you my name? You're making fun of me. Like, no one makes fun of hairbag. He just starts. I loved it. Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. Like, but
you don't make fun out of. What was the line again?
It was
hairbag.
You don't kick a man who's down, hairbag. And then the guy goes, who told you my name? You're making fun of me. Nobody makes fun of hairbag. And then he just starts, into it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's great. That's great.
I am so sorry to interrupt. It is unfortunately around that time. If you have like a final question or so, or Joseph, I would ask it, and it's time to say goodbye. Unfortunately.
Okay, Sam, just a quick one because I booked two tickets.
Oh, okay. All right, I apologize. Sorry, my bad. Keep going.
Yeah, no worries.
Hey, get out of here. Get out of here, punk. No.
Yep.
Yeah. So go ahead, Joseph.
An episode.
He always had those great now words like hairbag and I'm taking this maggot out of here. And what was the one that he yelled at? You egg sucking piece of gutter trash. Yeah. Try picking on me. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, all right, you egg sucking piece of gutter trash. You always did like push around people smaller than you. Well, I'm smaller. Try pushing me. I just loved it. It was so great to be that guy,
And it was great to watch. There was one thing as well. For me, my favourite episode of Wolverine is, I think it's called Vengeance. It's the one with Sabretooth, where Wolverine's just been rebuffed by Doom. He goes to Alaska, for a bit of airtime, and I think the people there take a liking to him, they save him, and
cold vengeance.
Yeah, it's one of those where obviously in typical Wolverine fashion, it doesn't quite work out because Sabretooth's trying to get him, so he kidnaps the villagers. And something I loved about the episode was it said a lot about Wolverine because really, despite his gruffness, he wanted to be appreciated and loved.
He had. That's a great word because he had a huge heart, and he had the biggest problem with women. With just couldn't keep a woman, and he was very lonely inside. And that episode I like because, and that's Cyclops. Sabretooth and I were always in a lot of fight scenes. Of course, that's all we did. You couldn't talk after recording those sessions. And that one, when they fight and Sabretooth is yelling, he throws Wolverine over into the water and there's an iceberg or something. He's holding on to Wolverine. He's floating on it. And, you never could beat me anyway, Wolverine. And he's yelling from the top of the mountain down. Wolverine just shakes his head and goes, at least I won't have to listen to your flapping lips anymore. But then, the Natos fall in love with him. And at the end of that episode, he's sitting out front with the chief or something. And the chief says to him, because Wolverine reaches into his bag and takes out his Wolverine mask.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't going to wear it anymore or whatever. He was not going to go back to the X-Men. And he picks up the mask and the chief says something like, you have to do what you have to do, my friend. And he walked away. And Wolverine, it's the last shot of the whole... I'm going to have to shoot someone. It's the last shot of the whole thing. And it's on Wolverine's face and he said, you called me friend. And it just filled my heart. It's just like, you called me friend. That's all he wanted. That's all he wants, like you said.
And I think that's the most heartbreaking thing is by the end of it, he finally gets what he wants, which is peace. Because he loved the X-Men, but he had peace when he was in Alaska. And it's that whole realization of he was never going to get it. It was always going to be short term. And I think that's so sad.
Yeah. He was such a complicated character because he was tough, and like you said, but he had this huge heart, and he looked after Jubilee and all of them, even but he just wanted to be loved.
Well, it's like even Cyclops, even that resentment you see in the Morlocks, where he's like he saves him from getting killed because he loves Jean that much.
Yeah,
and I thought that was really endearing. That he saw the X-Men as family, and he was fiercely loyal to them. He'd do anything for them.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, he was, like I said, that's why I loved him so much, because he was a deep character. And even though he'd always looked like, you know, he's just a tough guy that just, you know, got these stupid claws. Oh yeah, I got those too. Yeah, but I got those too, pal. Kind of these things. And I just love, and like I said to a lot of the kids that come up, they ask, well, what, you didn't know anything about X-Men? I said, no, I knew nothing. And when we did, it took us like 6 to 7, maybe 8 episodes before the first episode went to air that we actually saw our characters animated. And when I saw the first edition, the first episode on Halloween night, 1992, like at home on my TV, I was watching it. I just went, wow, I love this guy. He was just, I couldn't believe him. Seeing him for the first time, and that really changed the way so you hear that hammering?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, he's about to get shot. Okay, yeah. Oh, there's that guy back.
I'm sorry.
There's that Sam guy.
Now it's that time, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I'll let y'all say goodbye to each other.
Yep, Cal, it's been an absolute pleasure, and
thank you, Joe. Thank you so much, Joseph, for me too. And say hello to Manchester, would you please?
Will do. I remember this, rookie.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, man.